Good afternoon. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bhavya Kandimalla. I'm joined by my colleague Iris Lee. We're both sales engineers at InterSystems, and today we're excited to introduce to you InterSystems Iris Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML. Our presentation will cover the growing popularity of the cloud, an overview of InterSystems cloud services with a deep dive into Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML, including a live demo of how to use both services, and finally we'll wrap up and have a Q&A session. So let's begin by discussing the key trends and benefits of the cloud and why it's rapidly gaining traction in the market. According to the major analyst firms, the cloud has become the go-to choice for new software deployments, with predictions that half of all enterprise workloads will be running in the cloud within 2 years. And for good reason. Running applications in the cloud offers several economic benefits. It eliminates large upfront capital expenses, replacing them with pay-as-you-go operational expenses, and it enables easy scalability, eliminates over-provisioning, and reduces unused capacity. This results in more predictable operational expenses based on actual usage, which is exactly what businesses want. Cloud computing also provides operational benefits, including faster deployment, which speeds time to value, improves scalability, agility, geo-redundancy, high availability, and reduced staffing requirements. From a strategic standpoint, the cloud allows organizations to concentrate on their core business objectives instead of managing infrastructure. Gartner says there's no business strategy without a cloud strategy. The cloud offers business agility, enabling organizations to respond faster to changes and innovate more easily. By democratizing access to cutting-edge technology and connecting organizations to a vast ecosystem of partners and suppliers who offer an expansive array of services, the cloud allows organizations to create new business models and revenue streams. With InterSystems cloud offerings and services, our goal is to pair all the benefits the cloud offers with our powerful technology. InterSystems Cloud dramatically reduces the time, cost, and complexity of operating InterSystems software in the cloud. We have a variety of cloud offerings, but today we'll be focusing on our cloud services. InterSystems cloud services are the foundational building blocks for a broader set of services and solutions that can be used independently for specific solutions as composable applications or as data fabric architectures. So essentially, InterSystems cloud services maximize the speed of consuming and ease of subscribing to select InterSystems product functionality. While some of these features are more relevant to specific cloud services or can be part of your general cloud vision pipeline, in general, we handle the implementation operations such as provisioning, encryption, monitoring, cloud cost optimization, management, and so on. And then we also take care of solution deployment. Things like VPN, firewall, authorization, et cetera, are all automated. We currently offer a set of decoupled and independently deployable cloud services that are available through standard platform as a service and software as a service models in AWS. In dark blue are the cloud services that are currently available, and in light blue are the services in development that will be available in the second half of this year. Moving forward, we're going to continue offering additional cloud services as well as expand availability in different cloud providers. So here at the top, we have 2 vertical cloud service sets. And really all that means is it's industry specific, focused on healthcare, one of which is built around healthcare interoperability. And those include services like Health Connect Cloud, our healthcare data integration engine, Provider Directory, our provider data management tool, and soon we'll be releasing Master Patient Index that creates a single source of truth for patient identity and demographic information. We also have a second set of vertical services focused on fast healthcare interoperability resources, also known as the FHIR standard. And those include a FHIR transformation service that automatically converts healthcare data into FHIR data, a FHIR server service, which is a secure, scalable data repository for storing and sharing FHIR healthcare data, and a FHIR SQL builder that lets you access FHIR through standard SQL. Then finally at the bottom here are our horizontal cloud services. So these are industry agnostic, and they are focused around providing select InterSystems Iris capabilities. Coming out later this year is Cloud DocDB, which is our document database as a service, and of course currently available are Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML. So as I mentioned earlier, all of our cloud services can be accessed independently or combined as building blocks to build new applications. So for example, combining the 3 FHIR services together into an application would allow you to transform healthcare data into file format, store the file data in a secure cloud-based repository, and provide access to that data via SQL from other applications. The only exception here is that Cloud Integrated ML is actually an add-on for Cloud SQL, but you can still have multiple Cloud SQL instances with or without Cloud Integrated ML independently deployed. All right, so what is InterSystems Iris Cloud SQL? It's a drop-dead simple way to access our world-class relational database capabilities. It's SQL, so it's a relational data endpoint. It's in the cloud, which allows our customers to focus 100% on their data while we take on the operation and management of the backend system. And it's based on InterSystems Iris, so it has the same high performance and reliability at lower cost than traditional databases. What's in the box? Of course, the InterSystems Iris SQL engine, the mature relational database engine that we all know. When you spin up a deployment, it comes up in about a minute, and then you have that secure endpoint that you can connect to. We include several external connection drivers, so you can connect your third-party clients to this relational endpoint in the cloud. And by default, all of these connections are encrypted by TLS, so your data at rest and your data in transit is secure. And we also provide a web portal, so you have an intuitive interface to spin up your deployment, see all of your information that you need to connect to your endpoint, load your data in schemas, browse your data with pre-built tools like the SQL editor, and then do all your basic administrative tasks. So let's look behind the scenes and see what you get as a user. We handle the deployment configuration and fine-tuning of the cloud service following InterSystems best practices for InterSystems Iris instances in the cloud. For backups, we perform nightly backups that are retained for 7 days, encrypted and stored securely in S3. You'll have access to a backup catalog allowing you to restore your system to a specific point in time. Our operations team constantly monitors relevant system and iris level metrics on the back end. So if you have any issues that come up, you're promptly set an alert. To ensure high availability, we utilize a robust storage solution that replicates all data to a different availability zone and within the same region. And in the unlikely event of a failure, automatic restoration takes place seamlessly. And then when there's a newly released InterSystems Iris version, we make it available for you in the portal to easily upgrade to and stay up to date with the latest enhancements and features at your convenience. So how do you sign up? You simply subscribe to the service through the AWS Marketplace. Once you're subscribed, you're redirected to the InterSystems Cloud portal where you sign in to pick your preferred region, and then you choose a t-shirt size based on your CPU and storage requirements. Your deployment is dynamically scalable, so if your needs grow in the future, you can effortlessly scale up from the management portal. And as for billing, there's monthly consumption-based charge calculated by your compute and storage usage. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Is it available in US GovCloud?
Can you say it louder, please?
Is it available in US GovCloud?
Not yet. Currently, it's only available in AWS because that's the most mature cloud provider, and that's what we hear the most from our customers. But we do have plans to expand.
That is AWS, it's just a particular region.
So currently,
All right.
so we do have US East 1 available for now, and I don't think we support the government AWS for now.
So now that you're familiar with Cloud SQL, let's explore InterSystems Iris Cloud Integrated ML. Cloud Integrated ML extends the functionality of Cloud SQL with AutoML and InterSystems Integrated ML capabilities. For those that are new to machine learning, let's take a quick step back. So the traditional machine learning pipeline involves multiple steps, including data acquisition, preparation, feature engineering, which is where human-centric data types like dates or strings are transformed into numeric or categorical data types that machine learning algorithms can use. And then there's model selection, parameter tuning, and deployment. So traditionally, data scientists would need to perform all these steps to achieve accurate predictions, but this manual and ad hoc process starts to break down quickly because there can be a disconnect between data scientists and engineers, especially when teams begin to increase their iteration cycle. However, automated machine learning, or AutoML, is a family of techniques that automates the iterative steps of traditional ML, from feature engineering to your parameter tuning. It incorporates data scientists' best practices to build models with minimal user input. And this type of system establishes a common language between data scientists and engineers, enabling rapid iteration cycles with easy monitoring, execution, and updates throughout the entire pipeline. So as I mentioned, InterSystems Cloud Integrated ML seamlessly integrates with InterSystems Iris Cloud SQL. So that means you can leverage simple SQL commands to train, execute, and utilize machine learning models in your applications. It allows SQL developers and others who are not data scientists to use the integrated web management portal to easily build and execute machine learning models from the data in your Cloud SQL database without the need to possess advanced data science skills. This frees up developers' time for more detailed work and allows data scientists to focus on digging into the details or make an even better model. The beauty of integrated ML lies in its automation, high-level approach, and ease of access. It simplifies machine learning for developers with elegant SQL syntax, streamlines the work of data scientists by automating many aspects of the model creation, and exposes all functionalities through SQL. It's turnkey, meaning that when you enable Cloud Integrated ML with Cloud SQL, you get your H2O ML frameworks pre-configured, and your machine learning happens right where your data lives, and it can execute in real time in response to events and transactions. Signing up for InterSystems Cloud Integrated ML is easy since it's an extension of Cloud SQL. So for new deployments, you're simply going to enable it by selecting the Enable Integrated ML checkbox during the instance creation process. And if you already have an existing deployment, you just access the management portal and click Enable Integrated ML in the deployment details section. So with that introduction, I'm going to turn it over to Iris to show you a demo of how to use these cloud services.
So thanks, Bhavya, for the introductions. So we're very excited for this fully managed and automated database solution along with integrated ML options. And in the past years, we host several hackathons and contests for developers to use the Cloud SQL and IntegratedML tools to build the application on top of that. And we have some very interesting projects and ideas coming up. So in this demo, I will give you an overview of our Cloud SQL portal, as long as a project from the hackathon, which we got from MIT student called Blue Bike Planner. So without further ado, let's get started. So here you are seeing the landing page of InterSystems Cloud Service. So here we have all the cloud service listed, from the full functional file server to the Health Connect Cloud. It's a hosted integration engine. And today we're actually focusing on the Cloud SQL with Cloud Integrated ML option. And if you click try it, it will bring you to the create a deployment page. So it's very straightforward, and the first step, you're actually choosing the service, which is Cloud SQL, and you're able to do the IntegratedML right here. And we have a deployment size choose. Since I'm in a staging environment, I only have the smallest size available for me, but if you go to production, you actually have the different t-shirt size from the small to large. You can choose from there based on your storage and computing. And have additional options. For example, I can, and also here, let me give a password and confirm. So I will hit continue. So the second step is you're actually choosing the cloud provider and the region. As we just mentioned, currently we only offer the AWS for the cloud provider because this is the most our customer asked, and also it's the most mature. And for the region, we provide US East 1 and EU Central. Based on your deployment location and your preference, you can actually choose different regions for deployment. And if I hit continue here, I will give a deployment name. That's my name, Iris, by the way. And I will hit continue. So the last step, you can actually review all the information you just inputted here and select created. So as you can see here, this Iris Leaf deployment is what I just created. The status pending because it will take a couple of minutes for the deployment to go up and running. So I already have several deployment created for the demonstration purposes, and let's dive into the Global Summit 2023. So after you get in the specific deployment, on your left hand, you have a different tabs to show the information from the deployment. And first we got overview. This is a page you have all the deployment details for the specific one. For example, we have the deployment type, which is Cloud SQL with IntegratedML, and the deployment size, and how many cores you're running, and along with the Iris version. So like Bhavya just mentioned, we do the operation work for you in the background. So here, inconvenient for the customer, you only need to click the upgrade button to get Iris upgrade, but we're actually staging all the software upgrades for you. So that's why we're saying cloud is always an easy and a faster option. So if we scroll down, we have the external connections. We provide all the information for you to connect to the third-party application. For example, you want to connect to your Python application, .NET application, or Java application. We actually provide all the connection drivers like ODBC and JDBC to help you connect your own applications. So if you collect this get connection drivers, it will bring to you this web page. You actually are able to download all the drivers, like I just mentioned, ODBC, JDBC, .NET, or Python applications, and we provide all the sample code for you to get you through the connection. So with these capabilities, you're able to use Iris Cloud SQL as your database and connect to any project you're working on. So after we get a quick overview with the web portal, let's get back to hackathon project. So the hackathon, the project name called Blue Bike Planner. So if you're not familiar with it, the Blue Bike is a bike sharing system in the Greater Boston area. They have 400 stations and over 4,000 bikes available all the Greater Boston area. If you're not from Boston, the traffic really bad, and sometimes biking is always a better choice. So the Blue Bike Planner is very straightforward. Basically what they did is, I will pull up the UI for you. So it's very straightforward. So it's a planner to help you predict the possibilities to find a bike in a certain location at a certain time of the day. So you actually can select a location from the drop-down menu, which includes several stations from the Blue Bike, and you can also select the day of the week and the time of when you want a bike. And also, if you already rent a bike, you can actually predict if we can find an empty dock to actually return the bike. So it's pretty handy if you live in Boston area. So in order to finish this Blue Bike Planner, let's think what kind of problems we need to solve. So first, obviously, we need to get the data. We can get the data from the Blue Bike API, but we actually need a functionality to import the data from the to the database. And the second problem is we actually need to build a machine learning model to run the prediction, because I need to predict if I can get a bike at a certain time, on a certain day, at a certain station. And last but not least, obviously we need to implement the UI and have a backend request. But we need a connection to connect between the connect from the application and the database. So I will go through the details in the application, like how they utilize Cloud SQL to finish all the problems. So let's get back to the web portal. After the overview, we have this Add and Manage File tab. As here we can see, we provide this nice GUI-based tools. You can upload the data from your local if it's a small data set. And if you have a bigger data set, we also allow you to have the external transfer, which you can connect to S3 bucket. And you can see there's example here. You can actually click there, and we can help you list the files here. This is a good starting point for you to get to play around. And at the actions, this small eye icon could actually help you to see what the data looks like. So you can actually see what data you just uploaded and make sure there's headers or does it look good to make sure you're not working in the dark. So after we upload the data in the system, next step is we actually need import data in our database. We need import it to the SQL table. So if you go to the import files, will actually allow you to select the SQL schema or the CSV data you just uploaded in the Iris Cloud SQL. So for example, I have the CSV data I already uploaded, and I want to import this Blueback CSV 14 train data to help me train my model. And if I click next, and this drop-down list have all the tables live in Iris Cloud SQL, so you can actually choose the table which you want to import your data in. And I want to import it to Blueback, and I know my file has the header rows thanks to the inspection functionality. And let's click import file and import. So and next, from the import status, as you can see, I can see which file I just imported and which table I imported file and what result have. So basically how many rows you have. And if you click this log, you can actually see how your data get loaded. If any inspection or any errors, you can catch it right here. So to now, we already finished the first problem. We get the data from the Blueback API, and we've successfully uploaded in the Cloud SQL database. And the next step is we need to build a machine learning model to run some prediction. So before that, let's see if I made data load correctly. So go to the SQL query tools. As you can see here, it's a portal-based UI tools. Here, as you can see, all the table live in this database, and I can run the SQL query to see which data in the table. If I hit execute it, as you can see here, I can run a SQL query from the web, like the web portal, but really you can run this from Jupyter Notebook, you can run from your own application, so it's all up to you. So, all right, after I finish my table, everything looks good, I got all the data I needed, I need to build a model to do the prediction. So let's go to the IntegratedML tools. This is a sweet spot. On the page, you can see there's 4 big objects, which is like create, train, validate, and predict, which is the big 4 subject in machine learning. So in order to do the prediction, first we need to create a model. So you can just click the create a model and give it a name, and I will give this model a new name, and you can select a table to train the model on, because since I'm trying to predict at a certain time, at a certain day, at a certain station, if I can get a bike or dog. So definitely I want to know if a number of bikes is going to be available during that time. So that's going to be my field to predict. And as we just mentioned, it's AutoML, so everything is SQL. So as you can see here, they actually generated SQL queries for you to create a model. And if you don't think it's good, you can always add the SQL queries and revert back. After you hit the create model, it will bring you, and I will show you all the model I created. So that's a nice list to see all the model you created from time to time. So next step, we have the model created. Obviously, we need to start training the model. So I have the model I want to train. Let's select this one we just created, and you can give it a name, or you can skip it. And also see this again, we have the SQL query to run the training model, and we can start training model. And also, I don't think I got this one failed, as you can see at the status. So this nice log gives you all the information you need when you're doing the training model. And if you can see the successful one, if you click this icon, it actually will show you the progress, like how much your model get trained and how much need to be trained. So like I said, I used to be a developer. I don't like guessing around what's happening in the background. I like to see everything on the screen. So, all right, after we finish training the model, we want to run some validation runs to see if this model is good. And easy like when we do the create and train, and we can select the model to train, and we can select the table to validate the model from, and give a name or not based on your choice. And we have the SQL queries as well. And we can go validate the model or edit SQL queries. And if you go to the show validation runs, similar to the trained model, you can always see all the validation runs here and the progress in the log file. And after that, we create a model, we train a model, and we have our validation runs. It's the final step. We need to do the prediction. So if you click the predict, you can choose just the train model to run the prediction and the table to contain the input fields and how many rows you want to predict. And they will generate SQL queries for you. And if you click this execute it on the SQL tools, it will actually run in the SQL query tools to run the select predict. So it's really auto ML. Basically, you don't need to know that much thing about machine learning at all. Even the SQL analyst could easily do this, and it's a good starting point for you to start doing the machine learning, doing the AI for your own project. And one thing I want to point out is we have this nice orientations, very detailed steps to give you guidance to create your own project. It's from the create the deployment and the create table and load them with data. So it's very detailed, very straightforward. If you want something to work on, this is a very good starting point for you, get your hands dirty. So after that, let's get back to the Blue Bike Planner. So let's select the station. I will select the Kendall T Square station because that's where I live and that's where the InterSystems headquarters located. And let's see, I want to rent a bike on Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. for brunch. And let's submit. So as you can see here, this application built on Iris Cloud SQL and IntegratedML, so they did everything I just showed you and run a prediction, which I'm gonna have one bike available at 20, so the possibility for me finding a bike at Kendall Square Saturday 10:30 a.m. gonna be 26%, and the predicted spots gonna be 22 empty spots for me if I have a bike I want to dock there. So let's get back to the problems. First, get the data. Because of Cloud SQL, we have the fully functional Cloud Portal to load the data and then connect to the S3 bucket. So no matter you have a small data locally or you want to connect to S3 bucket for the big data, we all can help you. And also, we have a capability to import CF data in the SQL table based on load data query. And the next problem, build the machine learning model, which is very straightforward, all GUI-based. You don't need to know any machine learning, but really can start to doing machine learning projects. And last but not least, implement UI and backend request. This project is running on Python and the Flex framework, and we were able to connect to all mainstream programming language and projects by providing all the connection drivers and the sample code for you, which I want to show you some code snap. We have JDBC connections, ODBC connections, and .NET, and Python. So with all the nice features and capabilities, we really help the developers making the application up and running in no time. And in the future, if you want to pass the machine learning model you created, you can pass to your data scientists to make them do manual feature tuning and to do the feature selections to make your model better and have better accuracy rate. So this is a key takeaway from the demo. And any questions? Go ahead.
So besides ODBC connections, can you do straight API connections right to the data?
Yes.
Could you change the size of the database from small feature to medium or large runtime, or do you have to stop?
Go ahead.
The instance sizes, the t-shirt size is going to be upgraded. The data will be scalable at this time. It's a set amount of data that makes sense.
Go ahead. So currently we only have one provider called HO2, but we think in the future we're going to provide more models help you to run in machine learning. But currently we only support HO2 as provider. I think that's the, HO2 is the model's name. So they provide AutoML functionality for us, so we pre-configured in the IntegratedML. So if you chose the trained model, it will run against HO2 provider. Go ahead.
InterSystems intend to offer IRIS Cloud to other regions of the AWS in the future?
Yeah, I can speak. So on our end, it is very easy to deploy this, our backend cluster anywhere you can, just based on demand. Right now, it's a matter of, we don't yet have a particular timeline of which regions, but definitely confidence as we should for Go Cloud, for example. If there's a demand for that, we will get there.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Usually recommended data requirement to train the machine learning model?
Currently, it's up to your choices. We don't have any guidelines for how data should be looks like.
All right, thank you.
So in the cloud portal, does the user querying the SQL instance always have all privileges, or is there a way to limit them from, say, like not entering DDL?
I think currently you would have all the priority to query the table.
Okay.
I was just going to say, there's a special user created for Iris Cloud SQL. If you're already familiar with like Iris security, it's not a %all user. They're locked down just to the particular database that they're working in. And, yeah.
All right, if there's no more questions, I will hand back to Bhavya.
All right, thank you, Iris. So these are the Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML features that are available today. We want to start off with a comprehensive and cohesive set of capabilities that meets the needs of many application scenarios. So all of the core things that you want when you're building your applications are fully there. For code-based things like object-based stored procedures, we're still working on identifying the proper boundaries and mechanisms to ensure that they're safe and that nobody is going to, for example, look at the file system. Also, because these services are focused mainly on operational use cases, we'll be launching separate cloud services specifically tailored to analytical use cases that offer columnar storage, sharding, and other capabilities. As you know, InterSystems Iris is an extremely broad platform, and it's very likely that some customers that initially start off writing a SQL application are also using a little thing here and there that may not entirely fit into our current service offerings. So we're extremely interested in hearing from these customers to see what limits you're hitting, because there may be opportunities for us to include more capabilities into the services. And in a minute, I'll show you how you can sign up for our early access program so you can provide that feedback. So who is Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML for? Like other relational database services, these services cater to full stack developers seeking a hassle-free database administration experience. They provide a future-proof solution with an array of complementary cloud services that leverage the same data platform and technology. And these services are also for existing Iris SQL customers that want to simplify their operations. So this may be a nice new home for your SQL-based applications. If you're looking to transition to the cloud or extend what you're doing with your data, you can use both cloud services together as well as add on other services to fully solve your use case or application or to incorporate in your data fabric architecture. And these services aren't meant to replace your developers or data scientists. So there's obviously very subtleties that are involved in really understanding the data, evaluating machine model performance, and applying machine learning in a business context. Instead, these are to help organizations optimize their resources. So to wrap the session up, today we heard about how the majority of new software development is happening in the cloud, and analysts agree that the cloud usage will increase in the future. For good reason. The cloud is the foundation of business innovation with many compelling economic, operational, and strategic reasons driving organizations to move to the cloud. InterSystems Cloud dramatically reduces the time, cost, and complexity of operating InterSystems software in the cloud. And our cloud services are decoupled and independently deployable services that can be used as building blocks for implementing specific solutions as composable applications or as data fabric architectures. These services automate DevSecOps and solution deployment so you can focus 100% on your business's core competencies and derive faster time to value. We have several services currently available by standard PaaS and SaaS models, and we'll continue to release more soon, as well as expand availability to other cloud providers beyond AWS. We took a deeper look at InterSystems Iris Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML, which include multiple deployment sizes that can easily be up or downscaled, and external endpoint connections and drivers for Java, C++, .NET, and Python, so that with the intuitive UI, you can easily import existing schemas and data. This is always TLS enabled by default, so your data is encrypted and secure both in transit and at rest. And they also include really handy tools like the InterSystems Cloud Portal SQL Editor, as well as the HTML frameworks pre-configured so you can query your data, automatically build machine learning models, and expose these models via SQL in real time without having to move your data or possess advanced data science skills. Iris showed you a demo of the Blue Bike prediction project using Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML, which was the winner of this year's MIT hackathon that we sponsored. I'm not going to go through all these, but there are many other applications that have been built using these cloud services. I've included the GitHub repos and the dev posts, so you can check them out later if you want to play around with them and see what others have been creating. Some of the ones that sounded interesting to me were Sheep's Galaxy, an application for sleep monitoring and quality analysis, Tokenizer, a REST service to tokenize sensitive data stored on Cloud SQL and detokenize it when necessary, and Whisker Workshop, a tool that uses integrated ML to teach middle school students AI and ML concepts. So to end things here, I've included some additional resources. So you have your community resources, including a link to the project from Cal Hacks Hackathon that leveraged the Fire Server cloud service. You also have your InterSystems developer community, which is a global network where technology experts, influencers, thought leaders, and those who have expertise in InterSystems technologies learn, share, stay up to date, grow together, and have fun with coding challenges, tech events, and contests. There's also the InterSystems Open Exchange, where you can create, share, and download applications based on InterSystems products. And of course, we have robust documentation for all our cloud services, including Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML, as well as the InterSystems Iris driver packages, with which Iris showed you earlier, and then the documentation for how to set those up. So as I mentioned, Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML are based on InterSystems Iris. This is the same technology that came out on top in our open source speed and resource utilization tests, which you can check out yourself at the link provided here on the bottom. Please sign up for our early access programs where you have the opportunity to work with new software before it becomes generally available and can provide feedback on our newest products, services, and features, including Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML. This program lets you check out what we're developing and really helps us improve our products and make sure they're tailored to what you, the customers, want. If you missed a summit session, don't forget to check out the recording once it's released, and be sure to attend the upcoming related sessions to learn more about InterSystems Cloud and how organizations are leveraging it, as well as check out the Tech Exchange on Wednesday, which will have an integrated ML demo. Thank you all for your time today. We hope you enjoyed learning about cloud services and that this presentation helped you start thinking about how you and your organization can benefit from using InterSystems Cloud SQL and Cloud Integrated ML. Any questions? Do you mind if you wait till you get the mic? Sorry.
Hi, thank you. Where is the data physically held? Because European GDPR law forbids data from Europe to be held anywhere other than Europe.
Can you, like we just showed, you can select EU Central as the cloud provider location. So we do have the EU location for the AWS providing.
Do you have a UK one as well?
I think you can talk to Steve, that's our product manager. here, and so, go ahead.
Is this on? I don't, okay. Again, we can deploy in any region, we can deploy our, the backend Kubernetes cluster that's hosting these services can be deployed in any region. It's really just a matter of demand. Right now, they're available, and this is our pre-production environment. They're available in US East 1 and EU Central, I think. But like we can deploy in any of those regions and just to support whatever, Yes.
Any questions?
All right, thank you all again.
Thank you for coming.